Hello, this is Amarjot, and I'm in Pune at Apex Visas for the past 2 3 days. As you see, we've been doing some Facebook Live sessions on various topics, and you can see at the back of my screen the contact information of Apex is listed there. So if you are in Pune or if you have any question, this is the number to call. You can come and visit and talk to me, perhaps, and we can run your query. On the Facebook Live, this show is broadcast live to people who are connected. You can listen in, you can type in your question, and then you can ask me a question. I have Gurpreet Kaur. Gurpreet, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Good, thank you very much. And Gurpreet Kaur is a specialist in one of the offices in Apex, and she is joining in to listen in and also to pose some questions to me. I have some staff members also in front of me in my office here, and they will ask some questions, miscellaneous questions on different kind of topics. We will start with one of the topics that somebody asked me, which is called a super visa. It looks like a super visa, like a super bug, super disease. There's like a regular visa and a super visa. We will talk about the secrets of super visa and then see if it can benefit you. There are 10 people looking at the show right now. Guys, welcome to the show. If you want to ask me a question, all you have to do is just type. You see the little box there, type a question. One of the staff members will look at the question. They will read out the question to me. I will not be able to take all the questions, but we'll be selective looking at the time, and we'll answer those questions which is of general importance to majority of people. Well, that's what we will do. Let me just show there's some contact information on the AV Immigration and Careers right on the screen, as you see. I'm going to take question, that's fine, and so everything is right. So we will start, Gurpreet, with super visas. Gurpreet, what do you know about super visa? Do you know anything about super visa?
Yeah.
What is super visa?
Super visa is a visa. If a person is having PR or citizenship of Canada and he or she wants to apply for visa of parents, then he has to apply for the super visa for PR.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's quite right to the point. Let me just throw some explanation on what is the super visa, how is it different from a regular visa, and why did the government started the super visa, and then you will understand the benefits of super visa. So all PRs, permanent residents of Canada, all citizens of Canada have a right to sponsor their parents and grandparents, by the way, so mother, father, and grandfather, grandmother. In the recent past, there were so many applications done by the sponsors to bring the parents. There was a huge backlog, and the government did not have enough time, enough scope so that they can sponsor. There was a time backlog, and there was also a quota backlog. By the way, there are about 46 people listening to the show, guys. We talked about super visa. If you have any questions, just type. Somebody will read the question, and I will address the question to it. So super visa was started as a result of the backlog in the PR for parents and grandparents, and they did not have enough slots. So they instituted something called like a parent visa, so that the parents can come in here even though they could not qualify or they could not be successful in getting a PR through family sponsorship. They could come here and live at a long duration with their sponsors. So for example, I am in Canada, I want to bring my father or mother to come and live with me. I'm unable to file for PR for them because I don't have income or don't have income tax return or the application has not come into the quota, and there's a quota, by the way, only for 10,000 applicants every year. So one of those conditions will disqualify me from having my parents live with me. So I can choose what is called a super visa. So I can apply for a regular visa. I can, on the application form for my father and mother, I will write I'm applying for super visa. So that means they will stay here instead of they will not get the PR, by the way, but instead of a regular visa, they will stay up to 2 years. A regular visa allows people to stay for 6 months, and then you have to renew or leave or re-enter again. But for super visa, 2 years at a stretch. So that's the cardinal difference between a regular visa and a super visa. I hope that's clear with you, right? There are some requirements for the super visa. First of all, it is only available for people who are PR and citizens, anybody who's on work permit or study visa or something else, like a temporary status, they cannot bring their parents on super visa. So that's one of the requirements, that you must be a PR or a citizen. The second requirement is that you must have income. If you don't have income, you will not be able to, apply for them. So let me just take an example of how much income we need. So let us assume that the family size is 4 people. So myself, my wife, and 2 children, 4, and I'm trying to bring my mother and father, so a total of 6 family size. So I need approximately $58,000 in my annual income, which I show on the income tax return in Canada, to qualify to bring my parents on super visa. So approximately 58, I think it's about $58,400, close to 59,000. That's what the income I need to bring them here. So that is one of the rules. More than that, you have the income, and now you need to have a financial support letter which will say in the visa application that I will take care of my parents, and I will take care of them financially at the least. So that is needed. The third requirement is that they must be medically admissible. That means they must not have any disease or long-term health problem. Otherwise, that will disqualify them from getting the visa. Also, you have to buy medical insurance for them at least 1 year for not around exactly, above $100,000 per each. The mother, father each, 100,000 minimum. And that is a mandatory requirement. So you have to buy this insurance from Canada. You cannot buy this from India or somewhere. It has to be bought from Canada. So those are the requirements. If you can fulfill those requirements, you can apply for super visa. Super visa has a very high rate of approval, especially people who have applied for PR, they have been declined, or they have been pending or waiting something. If you write to the visa officer that I'm pending, I could not get the PR, I want to get a super visa. Super visa is almost quite easy and quite readily available. I think it's close to 80 to 90%, maybe more than 90% approval rate of super visa. So it's a good thing. So guys, anybody who's listening to my conversation here, if you are visiting India, if you are in Pune or anywhere in India, and if you are a PR or a Canadian citizen and you want your parents to actually go with you and apply them, so you can come to Apex Visas. They can do a super visa application for you. The processing time could be around 2 months or so, and then they will come with you. Amita Maheshwari has joined on the show. She's saying, okay. Amita, how are you? I think you are saying okay to what the super visa definition is, or you have any question for me? Let me know. I'm sorry?
She had a question with regard to express entry.
Oh.
So I asked her to call up the office.
Okay. Oh, Amita, if you have an express entry question, you can call. Today we are discussing super visa.
There's one question from Vivek Rajan.
Yes.
Could you please tell me, Canada student dependent visa, when can one apply after the student is gone?
Yes. So, guys, what's happening is I have some staff here. They are reading the question and they are telling me what the question is, and I will highlight the question. As you can see on the screen, I have highlighted Vivek Kulanga random. Rajan. So the question is right on the screen. Could you please say Canada study visa dependent when someone can apply for study more? Yes, this is an excellent question, Vivek. Gurpreet, you are with me, right? You're following my conversation?
Yes, sir.
So if you have a question, just raise your hand, and I will come back to you. All right. So just let me know if you're ready for a question. So Vivek, the process of a spouse for a student is very clear. So let me just assume, if your wife is in Canada on a study visa and the study program is at least 1 year long, or typically 2 years or so, you can accompany the wife on a dependent work permit, which is an open work permit. So it's an easy application. The government fees is only $255. A lot of consultants I have seen and observed in India, they are applying for a visitor visa for your dependent. It's not going to happen. They will not get the visitor visa, but you will get the open work permit, and you can live with your spouse in Canada and you can work anywhere. So it's a very good application. and it's an easy application. So if you are in that situation, you should do it. Anybody else who's listening in that, you should do it. And Tika Sayed, the chief, is typing something. So what type of benefits a person with a super visa? And Anika Sayed, there's no benefit you will get. All the benefits are paid by you. You are bringing your mother, father, so you are paying for the cost. That's why they are getting super visa. They will not get any benefits. Remember, they are on a temporary visa. They are not on a PR visa. So I hope you understand this. Any question? Harshakari, Amita Mercia, focus on dependent visa. Yes, that's wonderful. That's clear. Amisha Rangara is also on the line. She's asking a question on how much income is required for super visa. I think I just mentioned the income, right? Didn't I? Just a few seconds ago. I think you joined late. If you can tell me how many people in your family, then I can give you an idea. I mentioned earlier that if there's a family of husband, wife, 2 children, and you are bringing 2 more members, which is like father and grandfather, so total 6 people. For six person, the sponsor needs at least 58,000. It's about 58,400. I don't remember. I think around $58,400. That's what you need in your CRA notice of assessment. You know, when you file for your tax return and when the government of Canada gives you a notice of assessment, if you look at the line 150, that is what the income must be there on it. So it may be just with one person, or the husband wife can combine the income and show the total income. So I hope you understand. Amisha Rangara, I'm interested to know, are you a PR or citizen? Where are you? And how is it that you're asking the question? I hope you are applying for them. All right. So Vivek Kularangam, Sergeant, yes, you said yes, that's fine. I've got Swati Sharavat. How does the parent grandmother separate? Swati Sharavat, I just repeated the whole story just 5 minutes ago. So you might want to go back and see. It's quite different, but more or less. Zahir Khan is asking me to contact. There's a phone number. They're asking me to call you. Kindly, somebody will follow up Zahir Khan as one of the staff members. So they will call you. Sushant Shahu has joined in. 48 people are watching this show. Guys, welcome. People who are newcomers, I appreciate your interest in Canada immigration. If you have any question, you can always call the number on the screen, which is 020's number, and you can talk to a counselor. They are waiting for your call. I want to talk and say hello to you if you're, maybe want to talk to them. Suhan Shahu, meanwhile, is asking, dear sir, if I get dependent visa, I'm eligible for full-time or part-time. I also know there's a benefit for Canada. Guys, you always want benefit from Canada government. You are getting a work permit. You can work for anybody, whether full-time, part-time. It's an open work permit. It is an unrestricted, unconditional work permit. So you can work whatever work you do. All right. So Shamsa, I hope you understand. Avisha Rangara, 6 people. I already gave that answer to you. Avisha Rangara. Gunjan Jains is saying, I forgot what he's saying.
How much time I have to do it before applying for super visa?
That's a good question. You need proof of income. So if you have a job, if you have some kind of proof of income that you can show, that's what you need to apply. Whether it takes 1 year, 6 months, 1 month or so. Typically, most people will wait for at least 6 months or so because they want to collect some money and income to show that they have this income. So as soon as you have this income, you're ready to roll. All right. That's good. Sandeep Diman is asking how much bands are required for applying here in Canada by the age of 31. Sandeep Diman, I think your question is express entry. I'm not talking about express entry, which I did yesterday. So the quick answer is you need minimum 6 each. But hey, for anything else, Sandeep Diman, you should call the number on the screen and talk to a counselor, and maybe they want to check your other things, your points and the profile. All right. Sushant Sahu, I don't know what you're saying, Sushant. TH, well, I don't know what that is.
Thanks.
Thanks, TH. I know. Vinita Parmar is asking, what is the validity of super visa? Vinita Parmar, before I tell you what is the validity, I need to know who you are. Are you a Canadian citizen, or are you a PR, or maybe are you thinking of applying for super visa for somebody? Just educate me who you are. But nonetheless, the validity is always 10 years. The visa is always given for 10 years. It's a multiple entry visa. All right. So let's say my father comes to Canada today. He lives for 2 years. and then he goes back to India after 1 year or so gap or something. He can again come back for 2 years. He can keep doing this for 2 years. All right. Sometimes the super visa can be even extended in Canada. That means my father comes there for 2 years, and then I 3 months before the expiry, I can apply for extension. I can get in another 2 years if I buy medical insurance. So when people stay, it's a long time. Gurpreet Kaur, just raise your hand. So I think you have a question. Go ahead, Gurpreet.
Yeah, I have a question.
What's the question?
My question is, can a person apply for super visa while in Canada? Hello?
Gurpreet, you're breaking up. I think your voice is not clear. Say it again one more thing. I think it's shaking. Yes. I'm sorry, say it again.
Can a person apply for super visa while in Canada?
That's an excellent question. That's an excellent question, Gurpreet Kaur. Yes, a person. Let us take a hypothetical case where, let's say, my father or mother comes to Canada on a regular tourist visa, like a regular tourist visa with a 6-month stay, and now suddenly they like Canada and say, "Hey, look, I don't want to go back." And something. Yes, it is possible that we can convert the regular visitor, permit to a super visa permit. We can do that. It's possible. We pay the fees, and it's possible. You have to extend it.
Any requirement of Canadian government?
The same requirement. The requirement is the same. I think, Gurpreet Kaur, you have to check your Wi-Fi or mic or something. I think looks like you are talking from a big mountain or something. Everything is shaking up. So that's okay. I will come back to you. I have Mithun Cruz. Mithun Cruz, I'm an Indian Coast Guard employee, work as an engineer on board ship. I apply for. Yes, Mithun Cruz, you look like you're a good profile. You're an engineer working somewhere, and you're eligible for a PR. We need to check your points and see how much points you have, what else you have. You need to call that number on the screen and then talk to somebody. All right, Mithun Cruz, you have looks like you have a good profile. All right, Vinita Parmar, if PR, then Vinita Parmar, it's only for PR, not for people who are not PR. Vinita Parmar, that's what I'm asking. Shilpi Shroff is saying, can I apply super visa online? We have to submit a paper application. That's an excellent question, Shilpi. The super visa application can be done both ways. It can be done online. It can be done in paper application. It does not matter. It has no difference. All right. Mithun Cruz, please reply. I have it. Yes, Mithun Cruz, I did reply. You have experience. I think you are an engineer guy. You should call, and you may qualify with adequate number of points. So it's a good thing to call. Gunjan Jain is asking me, can I get all PR benefit in super visa? No, Gunjan Jain. Why will you get the PR benefits in super visa? Super visa is not PR. PR is not super visa. Super visa is only for people who want to live with their sons and daughters for a long time. That's why you are there. If you want to apply for PR, get the benefits, then you should qualify for PR, all right? So that's what it is. Vinita Parmar is saying thank you to me. Thank you, Vinita Parmar. You're welcome. Who else is joining in? Suraj Khanna, SK. What does SK means? What's the difference between the parent and grandparents within a 10-year work? I already did explain this to you. It's like, there's a famous saying in India, actually, you do all the Ramayana and then somebody asks me, can you tell me who Ram was, please? We just did the Ramayana part all along for 5 hours. All it's So I already did explain the difference between this. Validity, Gunjan is 10 years. Again, you're asking the same question. My parents do the work. No, Gunjan Jain, you cannot have your parents work on super visa. You are supposed to take care of your parents. You cannot have the parents work and earn money. That's what the Canadian government called you for. You ask them to come and visit you to take care of some, maybe they want to play with your children or they want to spend time with you. That's what the super visa is for, to spend a long time with you, all right? Not to work and earn money. If they want to earn money, they should stay in India, all right? Akshay Diga is asking what? That's a long question. What is the question?
He's asking that his girlfriend is a Canadian citizen,
yes,
and they're planning to get married. After they get married, when can he apply as a dependent?
How and when can I apply?
Akshay Diga, I congratulate you for asking this question. You have a Canadian girlfriend. How lucky you are. A lot of Indian people, other people are looking for Canadian girlfriend because Canadian girlfriend is a sure ticket to PR under family sponsorship. As soon as you get married, then you can apply for family sponsorship. She can sponsor you, which means she will sponsor you as a husband. And then you will go on a PR. The total processing time is close to about 10 to 12 months. and you will get the PR. There's no English requirement. There's no education requirement. There's no other, other skill class requirement. But it's a family sponsorship. They will check your marriage relationship, whether your marriage is genuine or marriage is fraud. Sometimes people do have fraud marriages. They want to check everything, and if your marriage is genuine, marriage is bona fide, the Canadian High Commission in New Delhi will love to give you the visa and will send you on your way to Canada to live with your wife in Canada and live happily ever after. I hope you like my answer, Akash. If you want to talk to me or meet me, or the phone number is right there, so you can call and then talk. All right. So just keep your girlfriend happy for now. All right. Just stay cool. Shivani Bhargav is saying, I'm 38 years old. Should I be eligible for PAM? What do you mean? 38 years, 8 years? Yes. So it's Shivani. Yeah, it's Shivani Bhargav. It's 6% skill class. I know, like a federal skill class. So that's what you should explore, and that's what we can do for you. Gaurav Sharda is saying, hello, sir. Hello, Gaurav Sharda. What's your question? Hello means hello. If you have any question, then tell me. Nadia Wadwani, hi to everybody. Gaurav Sharda, my wife is government teacher. We are going to Canadian. I don't know what you mean Canadian. You're going to Canada. Or you're going to Canadian. What he's saying? I don't know what you're saying. So that's okay. I have a question from one of the staff here. Yes, please.
I'm Canadian PR, but currently my income is less than low income cutoff requirement. But I have my earlier balance.
Okay, good.
Can I apply for support?
No. So let me just repeat this question. Some people may not have listened to this question clearly on Facebook. So one of the staff is asking that if you have no income or less than the table chart, can he qualify by using his bank savings or funds from some other source? Answer is no. So the Canadian government, the Canadian immigration will look at your source of income in Canada. What is your active source of income? Not like if you have millions of dollars hidden in a Swiss bank. No, that will not help. So they want to see what is the proof of income in that current year in Canada. Because the answer is very clear. They want to be able to see that whether your income is real or credible and is coming or not. We cannot get the support visa just because of a promise of maybe I will win a lottery or I will get a money from somewhere else or something. No, they want to see some real income today. So that's, I hope you that. Who else is asking question? Akshay Dige is the same guy with the Canadian girlfriend. Akshay Dige, thank you, sir. Yes, you're welcome. So you can always contact, Sushant Sahu, how much time it takes for parents for PR to the school visa data application for parents are this? No, Sushant Sahu, your parents do not have to take an English test. There's no English test for parents, all right? So no test. How much time does it take? From a New Delhi High Commission, I don't know how much time it's taken, maybe 1 month, 1.5 months, or less than 2 months. Whatever the approximate time is, you have to check with BFS or something, maybe less than 2 months, all right? So that's what it is.
There's a question.
Yes.
I'm on PR. How do I sponsor my 23-year-old daughter?
Okay, who's asking this question?
Nadia.
I'm sorry?
Nadia.
Let me just put this on the... Oh, I don't see the question. But that's okay. Somebody, Nadia is asking me a question, how can I sponsor a child who is 23? It's not possible. All right, so that's not. The dependency age of a child in Canada is 22 and single. That means if you are 21, if you're married, you're not dependent on parents. So you must be less than 22, 22nd birthday and below, and must be unmarried. So that is called a dependent child. All right. So that's how you can sponsor. The only exception is if the child is 23 and 24, 25, there must be a medical reason. That means they must be dependent on you based on some health reason, or sometimes people have, some disease like autism or something. They're dependent on certain reason. In that case, in express entry, because a skill class, they will not be able to pick them, but in the family class, they will. So let me just take an example, something like if you already a PR in Canada and then you are sponsoring your child for some reason, if they were non-accompanying earlier, and now you are sponsoring your child, and the child is already 24 years or 25 years old, but they were dependent on you for a long time, that means before 22nd birthday, and the dependency is ongoing, then you can use that child as a family dependent beneficiary to bring them on PR under family class, but not under express entry or economic class. So that's a little technical glitch here. So I hope. Let me see who else is asking question. I already Sanjeev Kumar. How can I apply for work visa? Sanjeev Kumar, find a job letter, brother. What can I say? You need to get a job letter to this. Akash Dige already says thanks, sir. Understand? Yes. What about this? Jagdeep Singh Buller, where you are 29 years, 3 years experience, job private. Yes, I know private jobs, express entry. Let's check the points.
Please apply for my work visa.
I know. I would love to apply for you if you can find me a job for you, brother. If you have a job, come to me. I'll apply for you. All right. Jaydeep Bhatia, I said I want to apply for Canada DBA 2010, 5 years of experience, IT, hardware, controlling BPO, MC, Guru Gram. I like the word Guru Gram. It used to be Gurgaon in my time. Now it's called Guru Gram. I don't know why. Program. So having a business background drawback? No, it's not a drawback. Yeah, right, so you need to check your points and stuff. So see, so please apply for work visa. Jiti Buller, I'm not a work visa guy, right? So I mean, if you have a job offer from them, call me and then I can look into your application, do a work visa application, Indian LMIE as well. Gaurav Sharda again back. My question: my wife's government teacher. We have 2 kids. Can we able to fly? Gaurav Sharda, I encourage you to call the number on the screen, 020 number. Right? Do you see it on the screen next to my name? You call this number and talk to a counselor right now. People are waiting for your call and talk to them, and then they can, they can take you further from there. So question related dependent visa also, of course, as you see. So Gurpreet, how are things there? Are you good? You have a question? I know you're raising your hand. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, I have a question. Can the super visa be applied for any? Can be applied from any embassy, or only the embassy of country the parents have citizenship of?
This is a question which is fundamental on where does the person apply. I mean, obviously, if the people are Indian citizens, they will apply in India. They will apply in New Delhi High Commission here. But can you imagine if my parents are Indian citizens, but they are now living in Dubai? I mean, think of this. So I'm in Canada. My parents are Indian citizens, but my parents are staying with my brother in Dubai. And now I'm applying for super visa for them. How do I apply super visa from where? I will apply in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, right? That's where the embassy is. If they have been living there for at least, if they have a legal visa and they're living there, I will apply from Abu Dhabi. All right, so that's what it is. So people apply where they are, located, not just because they have citizenship in India. They will apply. They can apply in New Delhi also, but they can as well also apply in Abu Dhabi. So I hope that is clear. All right. Samit Jasuja is asking me a question about visa for sports highlights. Yes, there is a category. I don't think we want to apply. I don't think I have time to discuss all the things. Yes, but there is a category you can apply for PR directly as a sports person. If you have been playing sports for at least 2 years in the past, 5 years, you can qualify for PR directly as a sports person or athlete. So call that number and take an appointment and go from there. All right, so that's what. Who else is applying? Who is asking a question? Rajdeep Bhogal. Hello, sir. I am in New Zealand. Rajdeep Bhogal, you are in New Zealand. Are you listening to my show in New Zealand right now? Let me know. And I'm planning to move to Canada. Oh, wow. I thought New Zealand was the paradise on earth. Why people moving from New Zealand to Canada? That I'm flattered. People like Canada from New Zealand. I have a question regarding parents' PR in Canada. I just want my parents to live with me in New Zealand. They have stopped resident parents, and I'm thinking of applying for my PR for parents possible. Rajdeep Bhogal, first of all, when you apply for PR, your parents automatically do not get the PR with you. So you have to invite them after you become a PR. So that's my short answer. But I'm just curious to know what is happening in New Zealand. Tell me if things are not good in New Zealand. Why are you moving from New Zealand to Canada? Is that a problem? I'm just curious to know. I do not know. I've never been to New Zealand, so I'm just wondering what is the problem.
New Zealand stopped giving residency for parents.
That is the only reason. Or okay, that's well. If you but besides the parents' problem, are you happy in New Zealand? Are you successful and happy in New Zealand? That's what I need to know. The parents, I understand, but that's what I need to know. Shilpi Sharaf. The only Sharaf I know was Jackie Sharaf. I know Shilpi Sharaf. My younger sister is dependent on me. Can I apply for dependent visa in case my parents are no more? What do you mean your parents are no more? You can apply. No, you cannot apply for dependent visa for your sister. There's no dependent sponsorship for brothers and sisters in Canada. That exists in America, not in Canada. So there are other ways that you can help your sister to come to Canada on a PR, but we can discuss this. But to your question, no, that does not allow. All right, so we have done here Rajdeep Bhogal, Munir Vatsaria. Hello, sir. Thank you very much for your time. My question is, one of the parents to do part-time. No, Munir Vatsaria, parents are not supposed to do work. You are supposed to take care of the parents, and you are supposed to give money to the parents, not the other way around. All right, they're only giving money to a lot of time. Things are changing as the government is getting very strict. I know everything's getting strict. We have a question here, local. Yes, you have a question.
Now, in cases I buy insurance which is valid for a year,
yes,
and my parents travel to Canada,
yes,
because of some reason they have to visit back to their home country.
Yes.
And they come back after 2-3 months. Now, is that insurance valid for the left 9 months, or are those 3 months going to be resumed and then again it's going to be calculated?
I always love her questions. The question is that once the parents are on super visa and the insurance is valid for 1 year, but they leave Canada and they go to India and then stay there maybe for 2-3 months and then re-enter, what happens to the insurance or what happens to the coverage? What happens to the super visa validity of the 2 years? So that's an excellent question. The law is very clear. Every time, so once you get your initial stamp on the passport for 2 years stay, and if you leave, that 2 year stay is gone. That means if you are coming back again, you have to re-qualify again for that 2 year stay. That means when you come back again, you have to ensure that your insurance is again valid and renewed for another 12 months. I hope you like my answer, but that's the reality. All right, it's expensive, but that's what it is. Sumit Jasuja is telling me, thank you very much, sir, for the information. Sumit Jasuja, wonderful. Some information is benefiting some people. I like that. Shantanu Mundal, can you read the question, Shantanu Mundal?
I'm from India, trying to get Canada here. Just wanted to know what's the job opportunity.
Oh man!
How fast can I get a job there? I have 10 years experience in telecom sector.
Shantanu Mundal, I cannot answer this question. Let me ask you, how fast can you get me a job in Pune? Can you get me a job in Pune or Delhi? That's the same fastness you can get a job in Canada. So it's an impossible question to answer. You have to apply and you have to be liked by some employer, and that's how they do it. All right. So Gargi Jitendra is asking me some question. Do Canada have any restrictions? Yes, Gargi Jitendra, yes, there is a one-way TD, it's called a PRTD visa that the Canadian government issues for people who are PR, but the PR card is lost, or maybe PR card is expired, or there's some problem, they cannot use it. So on a one-time basis, the Canadian government, they charge $50 and the visa is issued one time and you can go back. So I hope that's not the situation with you. Are you PR? Where are you right now? I'm a little concerned why you're asking this question. I hope you have the PR card with you, and that's why you're not asking this question.
For people who are not able to fulfill the minimum stay requirement.
Well, if it is a minimum stay requirement, if you have not fulfilled the minimum stay requirement, then they will not give you anything. I am assuming that you have fulfilled the requirement, but you have lost the possession of the PR card, perhaps, or maybe you are very close to not fulfilling the requirement. Sometimes on a humanitarian compassionate basis, they can give you a visa, PRTD, to go back. So that is the case. But every case is different, Gargi. So you have to talk to an immigration lawyer consultants to what is going on in this. Sumit Jasuja, thank you very much. Yes, good. Shantanu Mundal, Mahal Span, West. Yes. Shantanu Mundal, you need to call some counselor and look at the points. Jadib Bhatia is saying, thanks, sir, for the time. And I'm sorry, I forgot this word. And a quick response, which I like your thumbs and their smiley thing. Yes, Jadib Bhatia, good. ADV Karan Karan. What do you mean? ADV is advocate? Oh, wonderful. Oh, you're an advocate? Where are you, Karan Karan? Advocate. So I just want to know how fast you get PR and PNP program, what your score is about, and when your score is about 350 points in teaching line, if you're eligible. These are two different questions, Mr. Advocate. First of all, 350 points. You got to be a little higher. 350. I don't think you will get anywhere with 350. As soon as you get the PNP, you will get the PR within that usual time of close to, right now in Canada, somebody who has been nominated, who are people in Canada, not like India, but people who are in Canada, it's taking about 18 months or so to get the PR through CIO Sydney, so that's what it is. But I think you need to talk to somebody in the council to find out whether your points are really 350 and what else we can do to. But for people who are lawyers in India, there are other options available. Maybe you can go there on the master's LLM program, and then maybe you can apply to become a barrister and solicitor in Canada. So that's another might be lucrative option for you to make money practicing law instead of practicing law in India. Amish from Guyana, what if my parents or grandparents want to stay permanent, then you have to apply for PR. All right, so that's what it is. That's what you do. I'm working in banking sector, Neha Sika. Yes, banking sector is good. I hope you're making some money. But if you want to apply for Express Entry, you need to call ahead and then check the points, and then you can go from there. Aditi Chauhan is saying, does anybody has to face an interview on Super Visa? Aditi Chauhan, that's a quite intelligent question. For Super Visa, they normally do not interview because they believe that you are the parent and that's the son. If there's a problem, then they will interview you, right? I'm hoping the parent and child and everything is very clear. Super Visa, I have not heard much. Advocate Karan Kalon, yes, sir, I'm from Nawashahar, Punjab. Nawashahar, Punjab. I've been to Nawashahar, Punjab. It's wonderful. But Shabnam, Malaik, what are documents required Super Visa? It's the same documents. Besides the documents, you need insurance documents, you need a medical examination, and proof of income from the sponsor. That's what it is. So I want driver job in Canada. Shankar Jhalmil, I don't have driver job in Canada, right? So I cannot help you. So that's what it is. Anybody else who has a question? Yes.
It's with regards to the insurance only. Just in case while during the stay, if the insurance is not claimed, is there any benefit of the money being refunded?
That insurance is not like ULIP or life insurance. No. The question is, what happens if the insurance is paid, is not utilized, and then we lose the money? Insurance is money lost. You be thankful to God that you did not fall into a medical problem, and then you're fine. Let me just be mindful of the fact that medical costs in Canada are very high. I know a case where somebody was inviting his grandfather, and the grandfather had a heart attack or some kind of heart complication, and he was treated for some stent or some heart work, and the cost of the work was close to $90,000 for about 1 or 2 hours. So if you think $100,000 is a lot of coverage, it's not. One surgery, one action, you are gone. All the insurance gone. Can you imagine if that person did not have the insurance, where would have the money come from to sponsor to pay for the surgery? It's quite difficult. So 100,000 is not very high amount. This is the minimum requirement. The government says buy more, buy a million, more. Just to be safe, right? Just to Shankar Jilmal, thank you, sir. Aditi Chauhan, thank you, Aditi Chauhan. Hi, JP sir. Ramesh Singh, hi, JP sir. I'm not JP sir. JP sir is somewhere else. JP sir, I want driver job. All right, so that's what I hope that there's an answer. So that's a big. Gurpreet Kaur, how are you doing there? You have any questions for me?
Not now.
Not now. Good. So JP sir, somebody's saying hi to JP sir. I forgot his name. Thank you. What's his name? Yeah, Ramesh Singh is saying JP sir. Okay, good. Ayushi Rahul Jain is saying, can I apply for PR visible salary from cash? Yes, you can. You better show your salary, how you're getting salary, proof of money. Yes, you can. I would get current kind. One thing just want to know is within what can I get an invitation? I cannot answer this question. I don't know if you can get the invitation for teaching line or not. Some provinces open and they close very fast. You have to keep applying, keep trying, whichever province you wherever you have the prerequisites met. So nobody can tell. I'm not into the business of forecasting how fast you can get it. My business is to tell you about the law, tell you about the procedure, explain the concepts, and apply professionally. That's what I do. I cannot tell anybody how much time will it take, or will I get the visa or not. I cannot deal with that question. All right. So we just apply. We let the government decide. That's what we do. processing time of super visa Shabnam Malik, which always I said in India for 2 months or so. All right, so that's wonderful. Nika Sika, Neha Sika is 29, gets 65 points around PR experience. Neha Sika, call a counselor to check your points. All right, I that's all I can say for you right now. Ask me a question about the law. Don't ask me whether I'm eligible or not. For eligibility, you must talk to somebody that can check your points. Ask me a question about some immigration law that you don't understand. Rajeshwari, what's her name? Rajeshwari Chauhan. What's the question, JP? Rajeshwari Chauhan? Rajeshwari Chauhan, what is the question on the screen? जो चाहते हैं प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनना क्या और प्राइम
visa on arrival for Indians?
I'm sorry, I didn't answer the question.
Has Canada announced visa on arrival for Indians?
No way! What are you talking about, man? No. You think Canada is like Hong Kong or Thailand, where any Indian passport comes and you get a visa on arrival for 7 days and 14 days you do shopping? If Canada opens visa on arrival for India, I think the whole India will evacuate within 1 or 2 days. Don't you think? I think all the airlines which are selling seats to Canada, they will instead of 70,000, 80,000, I think they will sell for 7 crore or 5 crore. People will buy seats like within a day. So, I don't think it's in my lifetime till I'm alive. I don't think it will happen in my next 50 years. Maybe, I don't know. Visa on arrival for Indian passport holders for Canada and US. I mean, come on, it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. All right. I hope you don't mind my answer, but that is the reality. Rajeshwari Chauhan, where I love the fact that you are asking me this question. I mean, come on. So Neha Sikha, please answer yes. Neha Sikha video, check the video. All right, so that's so. Aditi Chauhan, so any chances would deny super visa? There's always a chance of denial of any visa application. Of course, if your super visa application is lacking something or deficient or not properly documented, it will be refused. By the way, any application, any visa application category can be refused. There's no visa application in the Canadian system or American system which is like guaranteed. You apply and you get the visa. There's no guaranteed visa business, all right? Some visa application will be refused for a variety of reasons. So there's not like a hard and fast rule. Shilpi Shroff, you just mentioned regarding insurance, the parents can apply first in mandatory. Yes, of course. You have to renew. Otherwise, after 1 year, even though you have a 2-year stay, your insurance will lapse. The immigration will not come to your door and say, hey, get out, you lost insurance. But, you are exposing yourself to some problem on, something happens, then you will realize, what kind of risk you're taking. And by the way, even if your father or grandfather starts coughing, maybe they're having some chest problems, or maybe they're having some minor problems, and they go to a doctor, like any doctor. Each doctor visit could be, I don't know, $500 or $1,000 or something, and just for checking for 5 minutes. So that $100,000 will go away. That is the reason. That is the reason why they want to ensure that people who are coming from India or some other country, they better be medically examined in India first before they come. Because if there's a problem, the visa will not be given anyway. So they want healthy grandparents to come, not like, not like people who already are looking for problems, all right? So, Jayaprakash Ramesh Singh, you're welcome, that's good. Rajan Chuk.
Rajan Chuk has a good question.
Yeah, what's the question, Rajan?
I am a co-applicant for the family visa. I am getting divorced. I have done my landing and have my PR card. Does the divorce affect my residency? My marriage is more than 10 years old.
Okay, so I'm sorry. He has the landing done already in Canada.
He is in Canada.
He's in Canada, and the wife is already in Canada.
Yes.
Okay, so both of them are in Canada, so they can get divorced now. No problem. I'm not saying that they should divorce, but I'm saying divorce will not affect his residency. So once you are landed, once you're done, it always happens. By the way, I just want to let you know when most, not like most, if husband and wife are having problems in India, if they are, all right, Canada or America, the system is such like, it's an open, freedom loving country. If the relationship between husband and wife is not very strong, as soon as they land in Canada, all of a sudden it becomes quite wide and they get separated very soon. Because in India, maybe they are shyful, or they want to keep things under wrap, or maybe keep it hiding. But as soon as the wife is in Canada or the husband in Canada, goodbye, Charlie, you go somewhere, you go somewhere and out. Very quick.
Isn't this question of marriage for convenience?
Well, if it is an economic class, express entry, then there's no marriage. I mean, it all depends on how long you've been married. I mean, maybe they're married for 5 years, 10 years, something. So if it's old married, there's no question. I mean, if you just married this today and you apply for express entry tomorrow, and then after 12 months you go there, and then there's a big problem. Then there's a big problem. Otherwise not. Rajan Chok, okay, we already took this question, I think, right? Jeff, all right. Cheryl Amir, Gurpreet, just hang on. Cheryl Amir, I like the spelling of Cheryl Amir. This is like an English name. Cheryl Amir. So what are the possibilities to get a 378 with IT experience? What are problems you expect? Cheryl Amir, you need to contact the counselor to check your profile. I don't want to talk about the profile right now. It's too generic question for me, for Cheryl. So you need to contact somebody. Cheryl Amir, where are you? Are you in Pune, or which city are you? You need to call that number on the screen. And if you already have talked with somebody, maybe you can renew your profile and then see what's happening and discuss something on this. Gurpreet, I think you're raising hand. What's your question?
Yeah. My question is, if a person is waiting for PR card,
yes.
can he or she still apply for the parents' super visa on the basis of PR confirmation letter?
That's a quite intelligent question, Gurpreet. When you land in Canada, it will take about 1 or 2 months before you can actually get the card in your pocket. So PR card is just a card which you keep in your wallet to show that you are a PR. But the real document is not the PR card. The real document is the landing paper, the long paper that you get. That is the proof that you are a permanent resident. The PR card is not really, it's a fancy card, but it has less legal value than the landing paper. So as long as you have the landing paper and as long as you have an income, you are good to go. I know many people in Canada who are living in Canada, but they do not have the PR card. And once the PR, after 5 years, they did not renew the PR card, because why do I need the PR card if I'm not traveling and I'm already in Canada, and if I have the landing paper, there's no need for me to get the PR card, because PR card is only essential when you are traveling, when you board the airline, when you book the flight ticket to travel from Canada to India. So you can come on an Indian passport, but when you're going back from New Delhi to Canada, the airlines will check your PR card, not your landing paper. So if you don't have a PR card, then they will not let you board the flight. So that is why PR card is a immigration document plus a travel document, both at the same time. But if I don't want to travel, if I want to live in Canada, some people are living there who are 70 years, 80 years, old. They don't want to travel. They don't have a PR card. So PR card is not an essential. I hope you understand my answer. Cheryl Amir is saying, I'm in Pune. Yes, Cheryl Amir, so you should visit. We are in Viman Nagar. It's a nice area. I like this area. So that's what we are. I'm sure you know where this is. Who is this asking? Kalyani Bansod. I've just, what is this? I've just got engaged to somebody. Can I apply for what do you mean prospective marriage visa? I don't understand the question of prospective. Are you like engaged like a fiancé, or what is prospective? There is no fiancé visa in Canada. The fiancé visa is only in America, not in Canada. So just because you are engaged with somebody, you cannot get the benefit of taking advantage of his points, if that's what you are asking. All right. So you have to get married first, and then Rajan Chuk is asking a long question. What is the question, Rajan?
And continuation of his earlier question.
Yes.
He's saying that he has the PR card, but he's in India currently.
Oh, good.
Will the card get cancelled if he gets divorced?
The card will not get cancelled if he gets divorced. No, it will not get cancelled.
But does he have to do anything extra to keep the PR valid?
For PR, this is a good related question. This is a segue from the main topic, though. But the PR card has its own obligation. That means, as a resident, you have to maintain a residency obligation. Out of every 5 years, you have to live in Canada for 730 days. So if you think you should check from 2012 December till now, you should check how many days you have lived in Canada. If you think, Rajan Chok, if you think that you have lived for less than 730 days, then you are at the risk of losing your PR residency. So that's what you have to do. But, you know, I mean, if you are nearing that period, I think you should immediately book a flight and go back to Canada soon. Otherwise, you will lose the residency. All right, so that's what I want to let you know. Gurpreet Kaur is smiling. I think Gurpreet Kaur does not like my answer, or she likes my answer too much. The taste doesn't matter. Who else is asking a question? Casey Janardhan. Okay. Hang on just a minute. Chug was saying, so they told me 2 years at the airport. That's right, 2 years at the airport, which is 730 days. 365. That's what I told you. Casey Janardhan, what are the benefits of PR card? You're applying for studies rather than study visa. What are the benefits? What do you mean? If you are studying after becoming the PR, then the price of the tuition is low. It's 1/3. So as a foreign, can you imagine if a foreign student goes to Canada and studies on any program? So if they're paying $20,000, you will be paying about $6,000 or so. That's a big difference, 3 times difference between a PR and a foreign citizen. And that's the secret how the Canadian universities make money off you. So you better qualify the PR and then study. All right, so that's what it is. Who else is asking? Guys, we need to wrap up quickly. We have 55 people watching the show and many people are asking questions. So if you have other questions that require my attention, let me know, and then I will answer them. All right?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
If suppose my someone's father is a cancer patient, he is stable but on medication.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. Tell me the question one more time. I'm sorry, say it again.
If someone's father is a cancer patient and is on medication, can he apply for super visa?
Well, if he's a cancer patient and is on medication, that is why the purpose of medical examination is in place to understand whether he's medically inadmissible or admissible. And that is a decision made by the regional medical officer in respective embassies and high commission. They will make a decision if he's under like an exception to high demand in inadmissibility or not. If it looks like he's not, then he will be okay. If it is, then he will be stopped. It's a decision that the medical officers will take. It's not something that we can predict in advance.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Who else is asking questions? Yes.
My student visa is valid for 4 months only. Can my spouse apply for a dependent visa?
No. 4 months is not enough time to bring your wife on a dependent visa. You need minimum 6 months validity. And I would say, ideally, you should have validity for your wife to have accompany you and maybe live there with you. Less than 6 months is not going to happen. 6 months is just a borderline thing, maybe 8 months or 12 months minimum. That's what we need. Rajan Chug, let me just check again. Simitavan is demand is what about the gap in the study? You want to apply for please for the study? No, gap is not a problem. Gap. You can ignore the gap. If you are a bona fide student, you get the study visa. Gap is not a big thing. Cheryl Amir is provided already for the AB Commission. I'm worried about PNP as I know. Bless hope. Cheryl Amir, you should call your case officer. Do you know who's your case officer in AB Immigration? You should call her as soon as we are done or right away and talk and discuss your case with him or her. I'm sure they will do a nice job in explaining what the situation is and we can help you out for future guidance. Let me know how it works out. I will be interested to know what did your case officer decide. All right. So I will talk to your case officer also about this. Rajan Chok, he says me, I studied in Canada, I've sales and marketing for 5 years in New Zealand. Oh, he's the same guy from New Zealand. You don't like New Zealand, Rajan Chok, I think, that's and almost 10 years. I have some, Rajan Chok, I have some friends in New Zealand, they keep calling me and saying, hey, come to New Zealand, this is like a heaven. This is like a Switzerland of the world or something, and you are leaving New Zealand and coming to Canada. I feel flattered actually when people are choosing Canada instead of New Zealand. And almost 10 years ago, people are currently working for Accenture, our project management. You can study anything, Rajan Chok. What can I say? I don't know what you like. Maybe you can do MBA or marketing management or something. You can study anything that you like, anything that you can, pay a fees and convince that you're a bona fide student. Cheryl Amir has another question. Cheryl Amir, what if my husband applied for college in Canada? Oh, I think it's 25. I didn't see that question. Cheryl Amir, applying student on the primary waiting for PNP will affect his study visa. It will, when you are in the pool and you or your husband is applying for study visa, they are not going to give you the study visa because study visa is a temporary visa. The EOI and PNP, those are permanent. That means I've already indicated that I am a permanent applicant, and then you want to be a temporary. It's not a very good situation for them to be satisfied that you will return. So it's unlikely to be granted, all right? But sometimes miracles do happen. I have some cases where people did get it, but I cannot say this for all applicants. Sibi Divan, I'm doing a job and having gap of near about 8 to 9 years. That's okay, no problem. Don't worry about the gap. Show that you are a bona fide student. Jani Swati is saying, can you help me with the total costs for visa fee? What's the mandatory hour? Yes, it is high query. The total costing of super visa is hardly anything. It's about, I think, $120, which is just with the regular. I think the super visa is $150 or maybe. I'm not so sure. It is not more than $150, or maybe $150 or $125 or something. $100, which is regular. That's the visa fees for tourist visa, but what about super visa? Super visa also $100 each. $100, very cheap. $100 each, so you should apply it before they change their mind and raise the fees again. All right, Gaurav Kumar. He says we good time feels good to me. I don't know what field. Gaurav Kumar, you need to call a counselor and find out what field. Okay. So guys, we need to wrap up another maybe 1 or 2 questions, and we have to wrap up. Gurpreet Kaur is also listening patiently to my boring dialogues, but I think some people are thanking, so I must be telling some good things, so hopefully that's also good for other people as well. Rajan Chub is still on the study visa, so I don't know what is good. So you need to call a counselor, Rajan Chub, wherever you are. Any other questions, Rice? Yes, we have a question.
I have Canadian PR.
Yes.
I'm working in one Canadian company, but they put it in another country. For example, in Singapore or Sri Lanka. At the time of PR renewal, can my residential date in Sri Lanka and Singapore will be counted in Canadian residence?
That's a very good question. One of my staff is asking me that if he has a PR card, he's working for a Canadian company and he's posted in some other country, working in that country for that Canadian company on a PR. What happens to his residence requirement in Canada? So this is there are 4 exceptions, by the way, and this is one of the exceptions given to you so that you can maintain your residence requirements because you're getting salary from the Canadian sources. So even though you're working there, your salary is generated by the Canadian company. So whatever time you spend there, that is counted as the days that you are literally spending in Canada.
Also, my dependent.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Your wife and children, everybody. So that's a good. If you can find a job like this, then just wonderful. There are other exceptions also. I don't want to go to those exceptions right now. But since you asked me, I will give you one more exception. How a PR card holder can live in a foreign country and still maintain his residence. If his wife is a Canadian citizen, then it does not matter whether they live in Canada or outside that. So let's give a little hypothetical situation. Let's say my wife is a Canadian citizen and I have a Canadian PR, and my wife has got a job in Dubai, right? My wife has a job in Dubai and she's working in Dubai, and I have left Canada and I'm living with my wife in Dubai on my PR card. It does not matter how many years I live in Dubai, my PR card will automatically be continuing, no matter whether I'm even staying in Canada or not, because my spouse is a Canadian citizen. So that's the second exception, and there are many more. I don't want to go into those intricacies right now, but that's just to let you know. So if you have some kind of commitment to Canadian salary or Canadian wife or Canadian something, so residency is not interrupted. Residency keeps on going. But the problem will be I will not be able to apply for Canadian citizenship, and that would be a problem because I can maintain my PR card, but I don't have a physical residence in Canada, so I will not be able to qualify to apply to become a Canadian citizen. So that's the demerit. In life, you cannot get everything. All right, so that's what. Repeat card. So I will take one more question, and then sorry, what's the name? Sopanath. I love these names actually. As a student, dependent visa, what would be the obligations? Obligation is very simple. I mean, you will get the, if you are the dependent, if your husband, if your husband is a student visa holder, you will get an open work permit, and then you can work for anybody. So no problem, you can work, pretty much part-time, full-time. We had this question earlier, I think. Shabnam Malik is answer. Suppose the parents were American, they have to make a change to get claim amount. Shabnam Malik, that's what you're buying insurance for. You cannot get the claim from anywhere. You have to approach the medical company and they will pay for the cost, and that's all it is. You're buying insurance in Canada, you're not buying insurance in India, but you can buy another insurance in India if you want to. Not only from Canadian, if you think it's cheaper in India, you should buy insurance from India. And then maybe your parents are working for some government department in India, you can send the bills to India if you want, if they can pay for those. I don't know if the rules allow. So that's what it is. So guys, we should take one more question and we should wrap up, right? So I will wait for one more question and then we will wrap up and we will call it a day today, all right? So Shabnam Malik was the last question. We got Insan. So the phone number, as you know, the phone number is right on the screen, 020-647, and also on the background, it's on the screen as well. So you can call this number and talk to a counselor. Perhaps you will talk to me if needed, and then we can go from there. I will take a last question from my colleague here. Very intelligent, very smart. What's your question?
If my husband is a PR holder,
yes,
and I apply as a dependent, and if I go there and study, will I be eligible, or will I come under the category of the discount that a PR holder gets?
So the question is, the husband is a PR card holder, and the husband sponsors you.
Yes.
And then when they sponsor you, you will get the PR also.
No, but meanwhile, if I go there as a student,
then you are a student. Then you're not a PR. You will pay the full student visa fees. So there's no benefit for being in the process. So you have to be year or different way. All right, so guys, so that is the last question, and I hope you have enjoyed or benefited by some information which you did not know prior to this. And I look forward to talking with somebody who needs my special help or intervention. All right. Thank you very much, Gurpreet Kaur, for your patient looks and questions. And many people are asking these questions here, and all people who are answering this question or answering me. And the last line on the screen is Shilpi Shroff, who is writing, "Thank you, sir. Thank you. You're welcome, Shilpi Shroff. Hope to talk to you and other questions. Look at the questions maybe in the future event. All right. So I will say goodbye now. Thank you very much for